right, now let me just tell you a few things. Your birth was not a mistake or a mishap. And your life isn't a fluke of nature. Your parents may not have planned you, but who did?
God.
God did. I'm just telling you about who you are. He was not at all surprised by your birth. In fact, he expected it. He knew before your parents knew that you were coming. Did you ever stop to think about that? Before mom and daddy knew, God knew that I was on the way. All right, let's go on. Long before you were conceived by your parents, you were conceived in the mind of God. He thought of you first. Now, truth be told, some parents in this room will say, well, they didn't really. Baby, you're my blessing from God, but you weren't supposed to be here just at that time. It doesn't matter. God took all that stuff into consideration. It is not by fate or chance or coincidence that you're here. You're breathing at this moment because God wanted to create you. I'm just telling you who you are. I is important. Let's keep on moving. You are important. God he prescribed every moment of your life, every detail of your body. What feature do you like about yourself? You like your eyes? You like your hair? How many of you think your nose is all right? You like how tall you are? You like the fact that you got some muscles. You like it because your voice sounds like this. Well, what if your voice sounded like this? He took into consideration all those things. He chose what color you were going to be. Me and you is about the same color. He did that on purpose. He chose all that stuff. He custom made your body just the way he wanted. So you are perfect. Look at yourself and say, I am perfect. Now, the next time you start complaining about something that God gave you, really what you're saying is, God, you didn't do a good enough job because I'm not what I want to be. And who can tell God that what he did is not good enough? High five somebody beside you and say, you know you look good. Say, Jesus looks good on you. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You look real good. Brother Plain, Jesus looks good on you. Sierra girl, you working it over there sitting at that DJ booth. He looks good on you. Yes, he does. You are exactly who you need to be. Hair all pretty. Now, you won't say it to anybody, but I bet before you got here, you spent more time with the man in the mirror than you spent with anybody else. Don't be trying to tell me. Hey, just everything God did for you is on purpose. Say, I am on purpose. And I'm perfect, baby. All right, he determined what talents you are. How many athletes in the house? Good. How many people who love math in the building? How many of you love reading? Where are my readers at in the building? Good. Where are my science lovers? Where are my bicycle riders? Where are my picture drawers? Where are my doctors? Where are my nurses? Where are my teachers at? Yeah, teachers. Educators in the building. Educators go hard in the paint. I don't know if y'all know. But we don't mess around. Every talent that you have, God gave it to you because he knew that there was going to come a time that you were going to have to use it. Again, we're talking about you being the seed. Because God made you for a reason, he also decided when you would be born and how long you would live. Do you know that God already knows, Kobe, the exact moment and day that he's going to bring you to heaven with him? He already knows. Already knows. Already got it figured out. Already knows. Now, I cannot know that, but can I know him? And if I know him and he knows that, then should I be worried? We good. Me and Jesus is homeboys. Hombres. Partners. It don't matter how he wants to come and get me. If he wants to come in the air, if he wants to take me in a car crash. I don't like it like that, but my bag I got an open-ended ticket there. However he chooses to take me, I'm okay. Because I know who I is. And I know whose I am. Right there when you know what. You have to know who you are. And you have to know whose you are. Do you know who you are? You have to know who you are, and you have to know whose you are. W-H-O-S-E, whose you are. You don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. God will give you the gift to play football. And you start hanging out with the wrong crowd, and you can become anything. Because you allowed somebody who was not Jesus to open up your gift too soon. Because God made you, he knew you would be born, he knew how long you would live. Let's go on. He planned the days of your life in advance. We talked about your birth and your death. All that stuff is planned out. He knew that you were going to be living in Kings Mountain. Already had that figured out. Already knew your address. Had that figured out. Knew where you were going to college. Way before you did. Wow. All that stuff he pre-described is all for a purpose. Everything you've ever done. Remember that dumb thing you did that one time and you didn't want anybody to see it? Think about the most embarrassing thing you've ever done. Don't tell me. God knew that thing was going to happen. Now, you remember at the time when it happened, your face was red, and you were nervous, and you wish you could disappear. Are you still living? Which means you made it through the embarrassing time? Which means that God understood that, and he knew that it was going to pass. Look at somebody else and say, this too shall pass. It don't matter what you're going through, what you've been through, how bad it is. This too is going to pass. Look, y'all, you don't need me. You preach it to yourself. It's all going to pass. We're moving on. God knew that those people, your parents, how many of you love your mom and dad? Now, let's just be real here. How many of your parents get on your nerves sometimes? They make you mad sometimes. Sometimes you want to scream and yell, but you do not because you know better than that. But you love them. They drive you crazy. Sometimes you don't understand what they be saying, why they be saying it, but you be loving them. Good. Put your hands down. God knew exactly what two parents that he wanted to put you together or put together to make you. He took all of that stuff in mind. He knew what he needed for you to be here, and so he chose the right parents that you were going to need. You don't have to like them because God chose them as your covering. It would be smart of you to like them. It would be smart of you to say, you know what, sometimes I don't like them, but I love them. You're not always going to like it. I ain't always liked every teacher I had. But to fail because I didn't like her is stupid. I just don't like so-and-so. She don't like me. She don't like me because I'm black. She don't like me because I'm tall. She just don't like me. Stupid. Because it doesn't matter who does or does not like you. You are there for one purpose, and that's called education. You're not there for your friend. You're not there to be the class clown. You're not there to act goofy. You're not there to be silly. You're not there to like the teacher. You are there for one purpose. To get the knowledge you need to be able to operate your seed at the right time. And so you don't get sidetracked on because you have a purpose. All that stuff, he figured it in because it's a part of your purpose. All right? So we're moving on. While there are no illegitimate parents, no illegitimate children, you can just leave it right there. That's fine. You are on purpose. All I'm telling you right now is God considered everything that's going on in your life, and you are still here because he has purpose for you. You high school and college people, how many of you kind of think you know what you want to do? You think you kind of figured the purpose out already? So you kind of know. That means that your seed is being watered and it's starting to mature, and at the right time there's some potential in there that's going to come out. But you got to keep that wrapper on until it does come out. We cool? Talk to me now. We cool? Say we cool? All right, let's keep rolling. All right, and so therefore we discover our meaning and purpose only when we make God the reference point of our lives. If God made me, if he considered the fact that I was going to be tall, short, my parents, where I'm from, what school I'm in, then he knows what he wants me to do. So what do I have to do? Do I have to know him? Can he teach me his purpose for me? Without him, can I ever find my purpose? No. And so we got to know him. You have to know him because all this stuff is on purpose, and he wants to use those things to get you to just the right time so you can be great. I'm going to show you an example of that in just a minute. All right? Now, let's move on. Are you good so far? Tell me one thing. Somebody raise your hand and tell me one thing that you think is the best thing you've heard so far. The best thing. You think that's good? Good, because you are a seed. Tell me one thing you've heard so far that you liked, that stood out to you. Don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Tell me one thing.
My birth is not a mistake.
Say it again.
My birth is not a mistake.
Your birth is not a mistake. Don't you ever let anybody make you think that you are inferior, or that you don't count, or that you're not on purpose. Because God said you are. Let me test your Bible knowledge. He who began a good work in you, can somebody finish that? He who has begun a good work in you is faithful and just to finish it. You didn't even know you do. All right, and so you are on purpose. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand right now. If you don't know your own purpose, then you've wasted 17 years right now. How old are you? However old you are, if you don't understand that you have purpose, you're 7, then you have wasted it. We don't want you to waste anymore. Look at your neighbor and say, you better not waste it. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. All right, so if you are a seed planted intentionally, you have a God-given purpose. What is your purpose? If I said, tell me your name again. It's Angela, isn't it? Angelia. If I said, Angelia, who